I'm going to ask this, even though it's a personal subject. Anyone that has access to Wikipedia, they go read your personal life section. Are you familiar with that at all?
I haven't looked at it in years. I don't know what it says now.
So it states that you were subject to one of, if not the largest divorce settlements in the state of Georgia. And I know that's well outside of, business from, a business strategy perspective. And obviously it's worked out well for you with Kathy now, with Sue, with running ATVL, like from the outside looking in, great life. But a lot of people just wrap up like they hit success and then they're always going to be at like this level of success, whether it's wrapped up as wealth or whatever the case. What are your thoughts from having gone and seen the highs and lows, and how do you manage that from a personal aspect? I mean, I know I'm throwing again, kind of combining a lot here into one question, but one thing that stuck out to me from this past election cycle, if you remember, Robert Kennedy Jr.'s running mate, Nicole Shanahan, she had married the one of the co-founders of Google in 2018. By then, Google's already, Google, right? A household name.
Right.
And she ended up leaving a couple years later. There was whatever the situation was, but ended up walking away with more than $1 billion from that marriage. How did you look at that? Did you think how the government is getting their hands in marriage, and was there prenups involved, and I guess wrapping that up, what can you actually share? What are you willing to share from making sure young entrepreneurs don't end up in that same situation, or is it just don't fret it and keep going? And
you don't even have a girlfriend yet.
Well, no, again, there is I have purposely not put myself out on the market, but again, there's trade-offs that you have to make getting a company off the ground, right? There is limited time in the day, and then limited money to put into the company, and I would much rather put my time and money into a company than dates or
a lot of ways to spend a lot of money
then waste it on somebody you won't know in 5 years.
Yep.
Well, everyone has to find their own way. It's hard to make general recommendations for how someone should live their life, except to find somebody that you're really compatible with. This is my third time.
I heard that's the charm.
And I feel like this time I've got someone who's really compatible with me. I think she loves me for what I am, not for what she would like me to be. And I think that's a big difference. My first wife wanted me to run for governor.
Oh, wow.
And that was difficult. But then it turned out later on, after we were separated, she's supporting Stacey Abrams to run for governor. And back in the day, I supported Johnny Isakson. So that tells a big story right there.
Now, would you say you agree with this? And again, maybe not generally speaking, but I think it is. If you don't know what you want out of life, whether that's business or a relationship with a significant other, figure that out and don't waste their time. If you know you want something, try to make sure that's in alignment with what they want. And of course, they could lie and tell you something differently, but would you generally agree with that, or again, hard to say?
You should try to find somebody you really believe you can trust, and that's going to continue to be what they appear to be today, and not change significantly to be something different, and not expect you to change to be something different from what you are. And beyond that, it's hard to come up with an equation. I think it's difficult. Puts a lot of strain on the marriage if you have different concepts about politics. If you have different, it's hard for a communist to live with a patriot.
Yeah. And especially when the communist thinks they're the patriot and they think the patriot's the communist or the fascist or...
Yeah, when they don't know what words mean. Right?
Yes. And